Good day, everyone. Today we will discuss the digestive system, which is one of the most important physiological systems in the human body. The digestive system plays a crucial role in breaking down the food we eat into smaller molecules, which can then be absorbed and used by the body for energy, growth, and repair. In this presentation, we will cover four major areas. First, the anatomy and physiology of the gastrointestinal tract, also called the GIT. Second, the accessory digestive glands and their functions. Third, the process of digestion and absorption of nutrients. And finally, we will briefly define some common disorders of the gastrointestinal tract. By the end of this presentation, you should have a clear understanding of how the digestive system functions and why it is essential for maintaining life. The digestive system is responsible for processing the food that we consume every day. Its main functions include: first, ingestion, which means taking food into the mouth. Second, digestion, where complex food substances are broken down into simpler molecules. Third, absorption, where nutrients pass into the bloodstream and are transported to different parts of the body. And finally, elimination, where undigested waste materials are expelled from the body. The digestive system consists of two main components: the gastrointestinal tract, also called the alimentary canal, and the accessory digestive organs. The gastrointestinal tract is a long muscular tube that extends from the mouth to the anus, measuring approximately 8 to 9 meters in length in adults. The gastrointestinal tract is the main pathway through which food travels during digestion. It includes several organs arranged sequentially. These organs include the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. Each part of the digestive tract has a specific function that contributes to digestion and absorption. For example, the mouth begins digestion, the stomach performs mechanical and chemical digestion, and in the small intestine absorbs nutrients. Together, these organs ensure that food is processed efficiently and nutrients are made available to the body. The digestive process begins in the mouth, also called the oral cavity. Here, food undergoes mechanical digestion through chewing, which is also known as mastication. The teeth break food into smaller pieces, increasing the surface area for enzymes to act upon. At the same time, food mixes with saliva, which is produced by the salivary glands. Saliva contains the enzyme salivary amylase, which begins the chemical digestion of carbohydrates. Saliva also contains mucus, which helps lubricate food and makes it easier to swallow. After chewing and mixing with saliva, the food forms a soft mass called a bolus, which is then swallowed and moves into the pharynx. After leaving the mouth, the food enters the pharynx, which acts as a common passageway for both food and air. During swallowing, a small flap called the epiglottis closes the opening of the trachea, preventing food from entering the respiratory tract. From the pharynx, food moves into the esophagus. The esophagus is a muscular tube approximately 25 centimeters long that connects the pharynx to the stomach. Food does not move through the esophagus by gravity alone. Instead, it moves through a process called peristalsis, which involves rhythmic contractions of the smooth muscles in the esophageal wall. These contractions push the food downward toward the stomach. The stomach is a J-shaped muscular organ located in the upper left region of the abdomen. It serves as a temporary storage site for food and plays a major role in digestion. The stomach performs both mechanical and chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion occurs through strong muscular contractions that churn and mix food with digestive juices. Chemical digestion occurs through the action of gastric juice, which contains hydrochloric acid, or HCl pepsin enzyme, and mucus. Hydrochloric acid creates an acidic environment that helps activate pepsin. Pepsin is responsible for breaking down proteins into smaller peptides. The stomach converts food into a semi-liquid substance called chyme, which is slowly released into the small intestine. The small intestine is the longest part of the digestive tract and is the primary site of digestion and nutrient absorption. It measures approximately 6 meters in length. The small intestine has 3 sections: the duodenum, which is the first part, and receives digestive secretions from the liver and pancreas. The jejunum, which continues digestion and absorption, and the ileum, which absorbs remaining nutrients. The inner surface of the small intestine contains tiny finger-like projections called villi. Each villus contains blood capillaries and lymphatic vessels, which help transport absorbed nutrients. These structures significantly increase the surface area available for nutrient absorption. The large intestine, also known as the colon, is responsible mainly for absorbing water and electrolytes from the remaining digestive material. It is shorter than the small intestine, but has a larger diameter. The major parts of the large intestine include the cecum, the colon, the rectum, and the anal canal. After water is absorbed, the remaining material becomes solid waste known as feces. The large intestine also contains beneficial bacteria that help in fermentation and vitamin production, particularly vitamin K and some B vitamins. Finally, feces are stored in the rectum until they are expelled through the anus. In addition to the organs of the gastrointestinal tract, digestion is also assisted by several accessory glands. These glands produce and release digestive secretions that aid in the breakdown of food. However, food does not pass directly through these organs. The main accessory digestive glands include the salivary glands, the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. Each of these glands produces specific secretions that help in the digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The liver is the largest gland in the human body. It performs numerous functions, but one of its primary roles in digestion is the production of bile. Bile helps break down fats through a process known as emulsification, which divides large fat droplets into smaller droplets. This makes it easier for digestive enzymes to act on fats. The bile produced by the liver is stored and concentrated in the gallbladder. When fatty food enters the small intestine, the gallbladder releases bile into the duodenum. In addition to its digestive role, the liver also plays a key role in detoxification, metabolism, and storage of nutrients. The pancreas is both an endocrine and exocrine gland. In digestion, its exocrine function is especially important. The pancreas produces pancreatic juice, which contains several digestive enzymes. These enzymes include amylase, which breaks down carbohydrates, lipase, which breaks down fats, and proteases, which break down proteins. Pancreatic juice also contains bicarbonate ions, which help neutralize the acidic chyme that enters the small intestine from the stomach. This neutral environment is necessary for digestive enzymes to function properly. Digestion is the process by which complex food substances are broken down into simpler molecules that can be absorbed by the body. There are two types of digestion. The first is mechanical digestion, which involves the physical breakdown of food. Examples include chewing in the mouth and churning movements in the stomach. The second is chemical digestion, which involves enzymes breaking down large molecules into smaller ones. For example, carbohydrates are broken down into glucose. Proteins are broken down into amino acids. Fats are broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. These simpler molecules can then be absorbed by the body. Absorption is the process by which digested nutrients pass through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream or lymphatic system. Most absorption occurs in the small intestine. The inner surface of the small intestine contains villi and microvilli, which greatly increase the surface area available for absorption. Inside each villus are blood capillaries and lymph vessels. Glucose and amino acids enter the blood circulation, while fatty acids enter the lymphatic system. Once absorbed, these nutrients are transported to body cells where they are used for energy production, tissue growth, and repair. Several disorders can affect the digestive system. One common disorder is gastritis, which refers to inflammation of the stomach lining. Another is peptic ulcer, which is an open sore that develops in the stomach or duodenum. Gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD, occurs when stomach acid flows back into the esophagus. Diarrhea is characterized by frequent loose or watery stools. Constipation refers to difficulty in passing stools due to reduced bowel movements. Another important condition is appendicitis, which is inflammation of the appendix and may require surgical removal. Understanding these disorders helps in early diagnosis and treatment. Let us summarize the key points discussed in this presentation. The digestive system is responsible for breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and eliminating waste. The gastrointestinal tract includes the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. Accessory organs, such as the salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas, assist digestion by producing digestive secretions. Digestion converts complex food molecules into simpler substances, such as glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids. Absorption occurs mainly in the small intestine, where nutrients enter the bloodstream and lymphatic system. Finally, various disorders such as gastritis, ulcers, GERD, and appendicitis can affect the digestive system. A proper understanding of the digestive system is essential for studying human physiology, medicine, and pharmacology. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and enable the bell icon for future notifications. Thank you.